two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies, and you know they are really groovy. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies, and we know they are really groovy.
Two guys and a girl talking. That's Diane Coll, everybody. We love Diane Coll, and we always want to say thank you for writing and producing and recording that beloved theme song. And yes, we are very groovy, and I'm feeling very groovy. This is going to be the quickest monologue ever, the quickest intro, because we're doing Disney classic live action. That's the category. And there's so much to get through. Rory Penland has said he's going to go through 1,000 movies, and we probably will. So let's just bring them on right now. This is Manny Zamora and Rory Penland, Rory Popcorn Ear Wearing Penland. And I don't know what that is.
Stale.
And you can see
I think I got a hole in my bag somewhere.
But Manny's actually there. He's there at Disney right now,
at
guys.
the Magic Castle. Yep.
Yeah.
The one in Texas.
Yeah, the one in Texas.
Victoria, Texas. Well, all we need is the fan off stage, like billowing his beard, and it would be very realistic. And maybe like a seagull and like an alligator.
Yeah.
That would be.
And somebody
And
with a
penguins
gun.
dancing around.
Someone with a gun.
Oh. Too soon?
Too soon, yeah, a little too soon, but that is very Florida. That is a very Florida feel. Yeah.
Florida thing, yeah. Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I lived in Georgia for half of my life, and I was in South Georgia.
I bet they have Thunder Mountain there.
Oh, it's Thunder Mountain.
Oh, we had Six Flags for a long time, but I think they went bust. So
Atlanta has Six Flags.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go right into it, because like Rory Penland said, he's the man of 1,000 voices, and now tonight we're the men and woman of 1,000
movies.
There you go.
Two guys and a gal of 1,000 movies.
Because there's even a stinker list. There's a duels and dueling stinkers.
I knew we were going to end up talking about a lot of movies, so I asked Manny before we got started. I said, "Look, what do you say we do a 5 stinkers list this show?" Because Disney movies, very wholesome family movies for the most part, but they are really kind of hit or miss as far as, I mean, some of them got really formulaic, and it's just like they're just cranking about, churning them out. So some of them are hits, some of them are misses.
Yeah.
Rory, it looks like you're wearing a halter top because of the skin tone. So to me, I keep thinking that that's your stomach and your chest, and you're wearing just a bra. It looks like a bra. Like it's just, you know what I mean?
I got a tattoo.
And then you're being demure by like covering it with like a Hawaiian shirt. But doesn't it? I keep thinking that you're like half naked.
Thanks.
You don't have to go like this. Let the be free. Be free.
Be self-conscious now.
Don't.
Am I showing off my man boobs?
No, it just looks that way. But you also
Free the nipple.
Free the nipple. You're also giving me like a Truman Capote vibe, though. Yeah, there's like a very like it's tropical.
I don't think I've ever worn this outfit before.
It's so accurate. Okay, I promise we're coming right back. Okay, Manny, what is your number one?
Actually, I think Rory needs to start this time. I started last week. Let's let Rory do number one this time.
Oh, you know what my number one is, baby.
I know, that's why let's get it out there.
The only Disney movie I think to star James Mason. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And I realized about 5 minutes before showtime that I didn't put on the list anywhere, even as an honorable mention, Disney's first live action film, which was Treasure Island.
Treasure Island, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But in any case, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea is one of the gosh darndest greatest movies ever made. And James Mason is the best Captain Nemo ever. And Peter Lorre and Kirk Douglas. singing.
Whale of a
It's
tail.
delightful. Yes.
Yeah.
Whale of a tale to tell you, Lazarus Mermaid Minnie. I'm sure that the Sherman brothers were were the ones that came up with the music.
Oh
for it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, delightful all the way around. You know, you got the giant squid scene, which is legendary. You know, the Indians bouncing off the top of the electrified Nautilus. I mean, you know, it's just, as a kid, that movie was just like, that was like candy. It was just unbelievable.
Mhm.
Great, great action film for kids. And
Yep.
again, very family friendly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, excellent. Yeah. All right. So number one, my number one, and I, I really kind of vacillated. I kind of went back and forth between this one and another movie, and finally I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go with my heart and my gut. And to me, this movie, my number one, just screams Disney. If somebody were to come and ask me, I've never seen a Disney movie, where should I start? What would be, my gateway? And I would offer up this movie. And it's Mary Poppins.
Okay.
It's got everything. Sherman Brothers, wonderful lyrics. It's got the magic. It's got it's talk about family friendly fare. I mean, this is the epitome of that. Julie Andrews, everybody at the top of their game. Julie Andrews, Dick Van Dyke. Great musical numbers, great choreography. I mean, just all the way around. Probably some of the best special effects that Disney has ever done. Some amazing animation. They there's this show on YouTube called The Corridor Crew, where they look at special effects in movies, and they were talking about and how they're done and so on. And so they did one segment on the effects of Mary Poppins, and apparently the Peter Ellenshaw and his team invented a whole new technique of photographing, live action and animation and making it look seamless, and not just the usual blue screen or green screen or whatever, but just this whole but a yellow screen. And that's why if you watch the animated sequence, Mary Poppins is wearing this hat with this very kind of with this gauzy veil, and you can see the background through the veil, and it looks very realistic. So anyway, that's just a bit of trivia there. And if you've ever seen the movie Saving Mr. Banks,
Yes.
which is kind of about it's not just about the making of the movie, but why the author of the book, or P.L. Travers, the author of Mary Poppins, was so against Disney making this movie. And that's kind of a great performance too, with Emma Thompson and
Tom Hanks
Tom
is
Hanks
Disney. Yeah.
playing Walt Disney. Yeah.
Interesting.
So it kind of
film.
gives you a little perspective on this particular movie, and plus on her life as well, and her childhood memories of her father and so on, played by Colin Farrell. But anyway, so that's my number one for that reason. And
it's on my list. It's number 4.
okay,
And the only reason is because I don't buy Dick Van Dyke's accent.
I was going to mention that. The only thing, yeah, that's the one thing that
He's trying too hard.
He's trying too hard, and even
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, and even Van Dyke himself has said, "Yeah, I know it's terrible." I regret that's my biggest regret about that movie, is I really didn't, and
I didn't get a better dialect coach.
yeah, something like that. Yeah, I needed a better dialect coach, but as the saying goes, it is what it is, and you kind of just have to overlook it. But overall, I think, if I was give it a number, I'd say, this is to me, it's 9 out of 10.
It definitely
know,
deserves to be in the top 5 list.
yeah. So, all right. So my number 2, I was going to jump to number 2, is 20,000 Leagues to the Sea. I mean, I really went back and forth. I mean, this was really going to be my number 1.
Uh-huh.
But then I watched Mary Poppins again, and I thought, oh man. But anyway, so 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, probably one of the best adaptations of a novel, period, but certainly of a Jules Verne novel. Very faithful to the book, but also it just stands on its own as just a great action adventure exciting movie. Absolutely right. James Mason knocks out of the park as Captain Nemo. Certainly better than Herbert Lom in Mysterious Island. And Kirk Douglas singing a song to a seal to anyone who will listen, and Peter Lorre and
Why did you save me, Land? I'm
yeah.
starting to wonder about myself.
Yeah. I saw a documentary about the making of 20,000 Leagues, and that scene, they were almost going to cut that scene because it just wasn't working. I mean, the animatronics for the squid was just, it just looked awful. Apparently, from what they were saying, it didn't look realistic, it didn't look good. But the director, I think it was Richard Fleischer.
Yeah.
He said, no, we're going to make this work. And originally they had the scene in broad daylight.
That's why.
But then he thought, no, let's do it in the middle of this howling storm. It'll hide the awkwardness of the squid and all that. And so they reshot the thing. He convinced the higher ups, convinced Disney, said, let's reshoot this thing. Let's do it this way. And it saved the movie. I mean, that is like the highlight of the movie. That's the one. Certainly that's the one I remember. That was the money shot.
Right.
Yeah. And it worked brilliantly. I mean,
they kept intercutting between the outside of the ship and the inside, just the inside doorway there, where people were falling in and had like the sucker cups marks on them and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
So yeah, he ratcheted up the tension with that for kids.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Ooh, he's got a sucker cup thing on his face.
Ooh. Yeah, and the little parrot beak coming out of the
yes,
yeah,
the parrot beak that almost gets James Mason.
Yeah, and finally, Kirk Douglas, Ned Land, finally gets to be the hero and show that he's all that. So anyway, yeah.
I don't know why they didn't animate that, because at the time, I think it's around the same time they did Forbidden Planet, and they animated the Id Monster and made it look good. But there it is.
Well, that was a different studio. That was MGM did Forbidden Planet.
MGM did the movie, but they had Disney animate the Id Monster.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Because they wanted to get the best in the animation business to do the Id Monster.
So that was Disney at the time. Yeah. And even today, but all right. So number 3. Or actually, you're number 2.
My number 2. I want to say that British actor David Tomlinson, who is in Mary Poppins as the banker,
yes,
and who is in several other Disney movies, I should say. If it's got David Tomlinson in it, it's going to be a fun movie. He's in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. He's in my number 2 movie, which is The Love Bug, which I think is a great comedy movie. A lot of fun for kids. Buddy Hackett. And let me tell you, anything that's got Dean Jones in it with Suzanne Plachette as his side is a winner. It's going to be a winner.
Yeah.
Love Bug is a wonderful movie. It starts the whole Herbie the Love Bug craze. Anybody that gets a white Volkswagen turns it into a Love Bug by putting 53s on it. Yeah. And again, it's a car comes to life, but it's not like Christine Creepy. It's just like, fun, mischievous, impish, living car.
Yeah. And I don't think
course, it does attack David Tomlinson.
Yeah.
Who plays a much meaner banker, I think, in that movie. Or I can't remember what character he was. He's always against, the Love Bug, and and
Yeah.
Dean Jones's character. But a wonderful race film where, you know, the little Volkswagen, you know, takes on all the super formula cars and wins
Yeah.
because he's
Yeah.
got a heart.
Yeah.
So that's my number two.
And
I have very
heart.
fond memories of the Love Bug.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I teeter-tottered with that one and my number three.
Okay.
Because the number three is very high in my book as well.
Ah. Okay.
So what's your number? Your number two was 20,000 Leagues.
20,000 Leagues. Yeah.
So my number three is the only Disney film starring Sean Connery, Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember the name of the actor who plays Darby O'Gill, but he's fantastic. It's his movie, basically. And you know, the special effects with the Little People are a lot of fun. I think it's Janet Monroe is the female lead. She's wonderful. She's delightful. And of course, Sean Connery, for crying out loud, right before James Bond. As a matter of fact, I can't remember which producer's wife saw him in that movie, and that's what brought him to the attention of the producers, Harry Saltzman and Cubby Broccoli, to screen test for Bond.
Yeah.
Which he got.
Yeah.
So he does a fight scene at the end with the baddie, one of the baddies in the film, and yeah, and it's got great lore too. It teaches kids about the lore of the Irish, the banshee, and the night coach that takes you to the to hell, leprechauns. So it's a delightful film, really well written.
Yeah. It absolutely scared me as a kid.
I can see that.
The whole night coach and the banshee, that was
the banshee.
Scary.
Yeah, it was scary.
Yeah, I mean the little people.
It could have been a lot scarier, but yeah, just the concept of it. Yeah.
Yeah, the little people. I didn't have a problem with them. You know, they were like, oh, okay, yeah, they were cute. Yeah. And again, Disney just so far ahead of everybody. You know, just in terms of special effects.
Because that was 59.
Yeah.
When it came out.
And they were doing stuff that, now everybody talks about, Lord of the Rings and how they did the thing where, try to make Gandalf look bigger than the other actors look smaller than, to play hobbits and all that, and the forced perspective tricks that they used. Disney was doing that, like you said, in 59, and doing it really, really well. So
a short around my neck.
There you go.
So that's my number three.
So that's your number three. Okay.
And my number four is Mary Poppins.
Okay.
So you get to go now.
Yeah. So my number three, speaking of, it could have been scarier, but it's still pretty good, is Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Interesting.
With Jonathan Pryce playing Mr. Dark, who is the head of this mysterious circus, the Autumn Carnival, as they call it, and it's based on a Ray Bradbury book. In fact, he wrote the screenplay for it as well. He adapted it, and according to some things that I've read, and this may be apocryphal, but Stephen King was a fan of the book, and apparently he wrote a treatment or a script for the movie, and Disney was like, no, this is way too scary. Go sell it somewhere else. And
I'd like to read that.
And apparently, eventually, he turned it into Needful Things.
Okay.
Or the book Needful Things. But yeah, and even Bradbury's script was watered down, because apparently he kept a lot of the really scary stuff from his book. But still, it works for the most part. Jonathan Pryce, just creepy as all get out as the villain. Jason Robards as the dad. The two boys, wonderful little actors. I think one of them, he was one and done. It was the only movie he ever made. The other one did a couple more movies, and then he was done. So they didn't really, not like Jodie Foster or Kurt Russell later on.
Yeah.
Of course, they were a little bit older. And yeah, and Pam Grier is in it. It's this sort of mystery woman, the Dust Witch. Although her part, I think, should have been a little bit bigger. But overall, this is one of my favorite movies.
I remember the movie. Yeah, it again, like you say, Price's performance in it was super creepy.
Yeah.
The little kid that they got to play, who was the henchman?
Oh, Mr. Cougar.
Mr. Cougar. Yeah, the little kid
Yeah.
was very creepy looking.
Very creepy.
I remember
Yeah.
when
There's
they
a scene where he
took him backwards on
smiles.
the carousel and he becomes a young boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely worth mentioning. It's an interesting film if you haven't seen it, and surprisingly Disney.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of pretty.
Well, we're
creepy
trying
stuff.
to. Yeah, I think that at that point, and I'm pretty sure this is after Walt passed on.
Oh yeah,
or got
yeah.
frozen. Or got frozen in carbonite.
He was cremated. That's a myth.
I
urban
know. But it's funny to, he whoever took over, they wanted to expand the repertoire. They wanted to go beyond just the because they were trying to compete with all these other movies that were not, that were PG and PG. Well, I don't think PG-13 existed at the time. That came later. But and so they thought, well, we need to maybe get a little bit more adult, but they didn't want to go all the way until they started releasing through Touchstone.
I think that was early '80s, because the Black Hole actually was the first film actually get a PG rating, I think, for Disney.
I think you're right. Yeah.
And
Black Hole was what, 79, wasn't it?
79. Yeah, they were cashing in on the Star Wars phenomena. They say that it was in production before Star Wars was even made, but we know what it was. It was released at the same time Star Trek: The Motion Picture was released, the same month.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So, and they were trying to do the same thing. And James Bond, Moonraker, came out about a year later.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, John Barry did the score for both of them. And
all
Moonraker
trying to
got
cash
the better
in on.
score.
Yeah.
It gets a mention here for that. Not one of the best Disney movies. It's kind of thrown together. Great cast, but it just you always feel while you're watching it, this could be so much more.
Yeah. I always called it, speaking of 20,000 Leagues, I always called it 20,000 Leagues in Space with Maximilian Schell.
That is like they're just trying to do 20,000 Leagues again, but in space. Yeah, a lot of people said that when it came out. The comparison was inevitable.
Yeah. So actually, I screwed up. That was Something Wicked was actually my number 4.
Okay.
My number 3 is actually Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Oh, okay. Wow. You know what? I forgot that was released by Disney.
Yeah.
So that didn't make my list because I just forgot that it was released by Disney. But yeah, that's a fantastic movie.
Yeah, and again, another great mix of live action and animation. They got the rights to all the Looney Tunes characters and all the other characters. Betty Boop, of course. And just
and they got Nick Westall, who voiced the original Betty Boop, to come back and do
yes, and a wonderfully just creepy, villainous performance from Christopher Lloyd. I mean, that was just him in top form as the judge, and his silly henchman, and
when I killed your partner,
I thought I
don't like that. Yes, exactly. Oh my God, that was perfect. Yes, yeah. I mean that revelation was
right?
Like,
wasn't that what his character was?
Yeah. So
the weasels.
All right, chipmunks, fall out.
Yeah,
that was the guy Squiggy from Lenny and Squiggy. His character.
Yes.
It's like a dirty name, which I think it's ironic that they did that was probably PG-13, wasn't it?
I
Because
I
some
think
of the stuff
so.
in that
It's
movie
either
was so sexualized, and
either PG or PG, yeah. And of course there's it's an urban myth too that, you know, you see up what's her name, Jessica Rabbit's skirt, and she's not wearing any underwear and all that stuff, and it's like, no.
Pause button.
Exactly. It's like, oh, see, we paused. Yeah, see, you could, like, no, she's not Sharon Stone.
Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner, yeah.
Uh, and Bob Hoskins doing a Chicago accent
Yeah,
just flawlessly.
yeah, good. Yeah. And what was his name? The comedian who did the voice of Roger
Charles
Rabbit.
Slater was doing the voice of Roger,
Yeah, there you go.
Please.
Please, Eddie. Yeah, yeah.
Patty cake, patty cake.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies. So that would have been 3.5 on my list.
So yeah, I had to throw that in there. I mean, yeah.
Definitely.
So
All right, so number 5. Something Wicked This Way Comes.
all right.
Was that your number 5?
That was actually my number 4.
That was your number 4, right?
That was my number 4. Yeah.
Number 5 on my list, and I'm cheating here.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to throw 3 movies at you at once. The Dexter Riley trilogy with Kurt Russell.
Yes.
It started with The Computer Wore Tennis Shoes, which was a good movie, a great movie, a lot of fun. These movies are incredibly fun.
Yeah.
They all have Joe Flynn as the college president,
the dean or whatever. Yeah.
They have.
I'm reading Duncan's comment. Sorry. He says Hoskins
they have Joe Flynn.
Yeah. So Jonathan Duncan says
Riley is a problem.
Yeah. So Jonathan Duncan says Hoskins did a Chicago accent better than O'Neill did the Irish one.
Yes, he did. Much better.
Much better, yeah.
Spot on. Cesar Romero was Arno in all of them too. He was the villain in all of them.
Yes.
The second one is the best one, and that is Now You See Him, Now You Don't. The special effects in that are so off the chain good. The car chase at the end when they paint the car invisible.
Yeah.
They're trying to get away from the cops, and they're trying to spot the car, and they make him go off the road and go through fences and through fields, and you see the like the tire tracks on the ground, and oh my god, so fun, that movie. Great music. You have the tennis shoes walking by themselves. It's just really, really fun. They have the golf game with Joe Flynn, who can't play golf, and by way of invisible Dexter, he's winning. He's making impossible golf shots. That's the stuff, that they did with, Absent-Minded Professor, back in the day. It's really good practical effects, special effects that just dazzle you. And then they have The Strongest Man in the World, which is the weakest of the bunch, but still a lot of fun. Those movies, I just treasure them. They're just, I go back and watch them again and again every now and again. Because they're fun, and I just really have fond memories in my heart of watching them when I was younger.
Now, was it Kurt Russell? Was he in The Barefoot Executive, or was that another?
He was.
Okay, but that's not part of that.
But
that's
that's
a different
not
character,
Dexter
right?
Riley. That's a different.
That's a different character. Yeah.
He's also in Super Dad, which is on my stinker list.
Oh,
but not even he could save that movie.
Yeah.
It is probably the worst movie Disney ever created. Just wow, just didn't work at all. But Yeah, he had a contract with Disney when he was a teenager. He was doing stuff for Disney's Magical Wild World, the weekend show.
Hmm.
I remember, and you can still find it on YouTube. Him doing a thing for the Haunted Mansion. Him and the Osmonds
Oh, yeah,
are going to see the Haunted Mansion, and
yeah. The
uh,
Wonderful World of Disney. Yeah, I remember
Wonderful
that.
World of Disney.
Yeah, every Sunday night. Yeah.
So, also on the Wonderful World of Disney, and I don't know if they showed it in the theaters, but I definitely have fond memories of it.
Hmm.
It was a TV show that I think they produced in England with Patrick McGoohan, and they showed it on the Wide World of Disney in segments.
Hmm.
And it was the Scarecrow of Romney Marsh.
Yes. Oh my God. Yes. He,
Um,
he, he was Dr. Sin.
Dr. Sin, who is like a
Yes.
preacher, like a
Yeah.
town preacher by day, and at night he would be the Scarecrow.
Yeah. Oh my
He was a
God.
smuggler. He would
Yes.
smuggle stuff. He was like a Robin Hood for his area.
Yeah.
The king
Yeah.
was just a big pain in the butt. And,
Yeah. It was like almost like a Batman,
so he
like
was
a
the Batman of
superhero.
his time. It was early
Yeah.
'60s. It was
But he
before
was,
Batman, but yeah,
but yeah. Oh
he
man.
put on the
Yeah.
Scarecrow
I
outfit. He
have,
had two helpers that put on outfits, and they would ride around and
I have very
cause all
fond
kinds of
memories of
problems for the
that as
kinsmen.
well.
Yeah,
Yes. Oh, I
so that's
love
on my
that.
honorable mention list.
Yeah, it was scary, but it was fun. I always loved watching that. So whenever they would rerun it, uh, that's so cool.
Yep.
Well, okay. Well, my number five is Tron.
Okay.
Uh, just another. It just couldn't quite make it higher on my list, but it's still I felt like it needed a mention. I mean,
Mm,
again, cutting edge effects, digital, early CGI with the light bikes and everything.
mhm,
Uh, Jeff Bridges and David Warner as the bad guy trapped
mhm.
in computer land inside a computer program. It's just again just a lot of action, a lot of just it's just fun, just a fun action movie.
And
Like I said,
Bruce Boxleitner
and Bruce Boxleitner. That's right. That's right. Yeah,
was this Scarecrow and Mrs. King. There's another Scarecrow.
another Scarecrow. Yeah, and yeah, he'd go on. Also, the captain in Babylon 5 later on, or one of the captains. Anyway, yeah. So
Jeff
so that
Bridges.
was with Jeff Bridges, and the sequel is okay. One of the early attempts to do the whole face, the youthification thing.
Mm,
Still, you could tell, still early stages of that.
yeah.
Better effects, obviously, but story wise,
Yeah.
you know, not not great. But
Agreed.
so anyway, all right, all right.
Everybody's wondering why Swiss Family Robinson didn't make our list. It's high on my honorable mention list.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
It's I had not seen it until I was, getting ready for this show.
Hmm.
And I really wanted to put it on my list, but I mean, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
why I avoided it. Um, the treehouse in Disney World when I was a kid scared me.
Uh,
I don't like heights, so I kind of inched through that.
hmm.
But yeah, the movie is actually quite delightful
Hmm. Yeah.
and obviously inspired, Mysterious Island, which you talked about earlier with Herbert Lom doing his Captain Nemo.
Yeah. Um, well, Swiss Family, yeah, it's another adaptation of a book. I forget who wrote it. Uh, Not Jonathan Swift. That was Lily Gulliver's Travels. But anyway,
Uh,
yeah, it's a famous book.
Yeah.
And anyway, yeah,
I
it
can't
didn't
remember
quite.
who wrote it either. I'm thinking
It didn't.
Robinson Crusoe.
Well, yeah, that's another. Yeah, it's
Kind of throws a
Defoe.
monkey wrench in there.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, but you're right. I mean, that was another one that just almost made my top 5, but there's so many other good ones.
And what was
Uh,
interesting was the pirates. The lead pirate was Japanese, which I
yeah,
thought was kind of strange, but
yeah.
interesting. But there's probably Asian pirates out there. Sure, why not?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
So, but yeah, riding ostriches, having pet elephants. It's a kid's dream to have an excitement and zebras, to have an exciting trip like that. And you got Dano, book him Dano.
That's right. That's right. Doug. Is it Doug? No, not Doug McClure.
That's a good. That would be an easy mistake to make. Yeah, MacArthur. James
MacArthur.
MacArthur.
James.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Going around. I hope yours
Sinuses.
wasn't as bad as mine. It's still hanging on.
No, it's just the weather's changing here, and
Yeah.
it always messes with my sinuses. So
Yeah.
yeah.
He actually married one of my favorite actresses from the 60s,
Mhm.
and that's the girl that was on F Troop,
Oh, okay.
who actually I read later when she did F Troop, she was 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
She looked a lot older than she was, but she was actually below age that she should have been when she was doing the show.
Oh,
So when
wow.
the show, she was 18 when the show, went off the air.
Uh-huh.
And it was about a year or two later that she married MacArthur.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that didn't last long. It only lasted a few years.
yeah.
In any case, honorable mention. Give me an honorable mention.
Okay. Well, we talked about Swiss Family Robinson. And Old Yeller.
Mm.
A boy and his dog. We're not going to talk about the ending. But yeah, talk about a tearjerker. But I just had to mention it. Old Yeller.
I hated that movie as a kid.
Yes.
You don't kill the dog. Even Tom Hanks said about Turner and Hooch on David Letterman, you don't kill the dog. I don't care how many cute puppies you parade out at the end, you don't kill the dog.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I understand. It was based on a story and they didn't want to change the ending to a happy ending. I get it. But
and I gotta commend them for that, though. 'Cause I read the book, and that's how the book ends. And for them,
Tanner got rabies.
yeah, and for them to actually go there, I thought, wow, well,
And it's real life. It's what kids might have to face,
exactly. So yeah.
So yeah, mention okay.
But yeah.
It's not on my lists, but okay.
Yeah. Bedknobs and Broomsticks, you mentioned that one.
That's on my list. Yeah, that's the second one on my list.
Another
Angela
wonderful movie.
Lansbury, David
yes.
Tomlinson.
Yeah.
I had not seen that movie until this weekend.
Oh, really?
And yeah, very delightful movie. Very fun.
Yeah.
And I love the British old man core at home. I love the Knights fighting the Germans. Great fight scene, great effects.
Yeah.
Kind of wondering what the whole cartoon thing was in the middle, but anyway.
Disney. You don't ask that question.
We gotta throw in an animated lion.
We gotta throw in an animated sequence because we can, because we're Disney, damn it.
They were trying to, I think, capture some Mary Poppins there.
Oh, no, definitely, yeah.
And later
Mary
we'll talk
Poppins
about our
energy.
stinkers. I'm gonna tell you about one of the movies where they really tried to cash in on Mary Poppins and it failed.
Yeah.
And Darby O'Gill.
Oh yeah.
And we'll talk about that in a little
bit. I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, you probably know it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
so
it had the kids from Mary Poppins in it, and advertised them as such. And the kids from Mary Poppins, woo!
Like, ooh. We couldn't afford Julie Andrews anymore, but we got the kids. So,
but by gosh.
So another honorable mention, we talked about it as well, is The Black Hole.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's kind of it's Jules Verne light, but still, good cast. Maximilian Schell, Robert Forster,
Anthony Perkins,
Ernest Borgnine, Vivette Mimieux. So yeah, thank you. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, not the best movie, but for the time, I enjoyed
Forster,
it.
They definitely picked names of sci-fi quality.
To
be in it. A lot of fans don't like the fact that Roddy McDowall was the voice of one of the robots and Slim Pickens was the voice of the other one.
Yes.
My gosh, I'm a robot. You better watch yourself. This guy's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I liked it. I like that part.
Yeah.
I didn't mind. I like Roddy McDowall.
Oh yeah.
Even though
again, they were trying
to
Yeah, we're trying to cash in on Star Wars, and so we need some cute robots. We need a couple of robots, and so so they had the little flying robots. Oh, they just walked. We're gonna make ours fly. So there.
Ours are gonna float.
Ours are gonna float. Yeah, because we're Disney, damn it.
Because our droids will float.
We all float down here. Okay, couple other quick mentions. As far as honorable mentions, I don't know how honorable. Couple of quick mentions.
I got 500.
This is almost kind of a pair. This is Island at the Top of the World, and In Search of the Castaways, which basically it's the same plot. They're basically the same movie, but still, good little action adventure movies. Somebody's lost, and somebody.
I didn't get to the Castaways or Island at the Top of the World, but David Hartman. It's in Island at the Top of the World. There's an unlikely hero.
Yeah. That was very strange, but like I said, still, and although Search of Castaways was more of a musical, it was Maurice Chevalier, an excuse to give Maurice Chevalier to sing a bunch of songs, and Haley Mills.
A Disney film with Maurice Chevalier. Oh, yeah. My interest is piqued.
Yeah, and Wilfred Hyde.
You sing better than Walter Brennan.
There's no Walter Brennan, but we have Wilfred Hyde White, who I don't think was ever young. Every movie I've ever seen, he's an old man.
Wilfred Hyde White in 1910. This is Wilfred Hyde White.
Yeah, exactly. And it's pretty much the same guy in every movie.
Adventure, are we?
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much it. Yeah. So anyway,
let's take the old British guy with us. I'm 22.
I have that old man disease.
The original Benjamin Button.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Oh
was
my
never
goodness.
young.
It was so funny. He was born old.
Came out of the womb. So, what is this all about? He's wearing a suit. That's so odd.
What's all this nonsense? Oh,
Okay,
my-
let's mention another movie and get away from Wilford White.
all right. So
Blackbeard's Ghost.
what are what's your? Is that one of your stinkers or one of your?
No, actually,
mentioned?
Blackbeard's Ghost, had Dean Jones and Suzanne Pleshette. It's going to be a winner, and
Yeah.
and David Ustinov of all people agreed to do this Disney movie. He was evidently still on contract from Robin Hood. He plays King John, in Robin Hood, and he plays Blackbeard's Ghost, and he's actually amusing. He's a lot
Peter
of fun.
Ustinov.
Peter Ustinov. What did I
Peter
say?
You said David. I'm like,
Oh,
is that his
Peter
brother?
Ustinov.
Peter
I'm sorry.
Ustinov. Okay. All right.
My bad. I was still reeling from the jokes by
David
Hyde White. So again, got a lot of. Let me just go ahead and say Absent-Minded Professor because I keep referring back to it. Absent-Minded Professor, the first one. Son of Flubber, not so much.
Yeah.
Doesn't have the heart of the first one.
And
Absent-Minded Professor is the best Disney black and white film.
Mm-hmm.
The effects are really good. You
Yeah.
got Keenan Wynn, and it is a great villain.
Yeah.
Tommy.
There's another one who was born old, I think.
What's funny is Jack Albertson is in a few of these early Disney films, and he looks young.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyway, Absent-Minded Professor is a lot of fun. Fred McMurray at his best. Again, great effects. The basketball game is hysterical. Him just flying the car around. It's a delightful film. Adventures of Bullwhip Griffin with Roddy McDowall. Was a lot of fun. It's got Carl Malden as a villain in it. You gotta check that out.
Yeah.
He's a really nasty villain too. Mike Mazurski plays the Mountain Ox that Bullwhip ends up having to fight. Harry Gardino is very out of place as a saloon hall owner who hooks them into the fight. And again, Roddy McDowall is delightful. Suzanne Pleshette, again, one of my favorite leading actresses. She's adorable. She's absolutely adorable. She's one of my favorite brunettes.
Yeah.
I grew up watching that. Yeah, definitely. And again, she's in The Love Bug, so you gotta love her.
Yeah.
If you're a dog lover, The Ugly Dachshund. Interesting movie. Dean Jones.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. If you've ever done dogs in like dog shows, that's a good one to watch.
Oh, okay.
Charlie Ruggles actually plays a veterinarian in it, the comedian from way back when. It's fun.
But is it as good as? But is it as good as Best in Show?
Different kind of animal.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Like
so
Mighty Wind. Different kind of animal. So now I come to my stinker list.
So what are your stinkers?
All right. Do I get to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
The Boatniks. Oh my God. The Boatniks.
The Boatniks.
Even Phil Silvers as the villain can't save this movie. What is his name? Robert Morse, the actor from Stage and Broadway. Wow. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think I've ever. I mean, he just seems out of place. This should have been like a Dean Jones movie, maybe. But Dean Jones probably looked at it and went, pass. I probably read the script. Nah.
Yeah.
Too formulaic. But not as bad as Super Dad. with Bob Crane screaming like a little girl.
Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, terrible, terrible. Stinky, stinky. Yeah, don't watch Super Dad. It's just a waste of celluloid. Don't
I
watch the
don't.
movies.
Yeah,
You're
I
just
think
like
I
wah, 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 wah. This
think
wants
I.
to be funny.
Yeah.
Anytime Al Lewis pops in as a character who's stranded on an somewhere, it's not going to be good.
Oh no.
I
Al
used to
Lewis.
be Grandpa.
Yeah, the Munsters. Yeah. Oh my God.
All right, give me a couple of stinkers.
Okay. Well, we mentioned one, Son of Flubber.
Okay.
Holy cow. What was that about? Yeah, again, just trying too hard. Trying too hard. And let's see. Oh, The Devil and Max Devlin
Whoa, hey.
with
I haven't watched it. I've just seen like the trailers and stuff for it, and I just know it's bad.
yeah.
Something in me just goes, no, don't watch it. Don't even try.
Yeah. So, yeah. And let me check my list.
Anywhere Bill Cosby is the devil.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you're gonna get away from me?
Just have this Tootsie Pop and sit down and just...
With cloven hooves.
Yeah. So, and I was kind of scanning through some of these movies, and there's this one called The Happiest Millionaire. And I'm like, oh.
I was teetering on whether to put it on the stinker list or not.
Yeah. No.
Frederick Murray shouldn't sing.
Yeah.
It's a musical.
It is a musical.
Leslie Ann Warren is his
Yeah.
daughter in the movie, and Tommy
Yeah.
Steele is in it. And
Yeah.
it probably should be on my crap list because John Davidson is in it. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But there it is.
Yeah. I was like, because I just
Talk
a
about
lot of this,
James Bond.
a lot of these I just based on the trailer. No, I actually watched The Devil and Max Devlin just to kind of remind, because I think I actually saw it in the theater once,
To remind yourself how bad it was.
and I was like, holy crap. And
Elliot Gould in a Disney film. That should tell you something right there.
exactly. And then
What happened to the days of Dean Jones?
Dean Jones, yeah. So one of my other ones is has a ridiculous title of The One and Only Genuine Original Family Band, which was so clearly meant to be another what's it, the Julie Andrews movie, Sound of Music. They were really trying to and it's like, no, this isn't working. This is terrible.
Now, I didn't get to watch that one. I didn't get around to it. That just the title alone turned me off.
I didn't.
Sound of Music came out in 65.
Yeah, this came out in 68.
68. So, okay. Yeah.
So a few years later, but still.
So just trying too hard.
It was trying too hard. It was like, yeah, this is Sound of Music, and trying to sort of Americanize it.
So no Nazis?
No Nazis. Yeah. And then I thought,
come on, you need the Nazis.
The Partridge Family did this so much better as a TV show.
All right.
And it may have inspired the Partridge Family. I don't know, but still,
that's around the time.
Yeah. So that was my other stinker.
Okay. I got to go ahead and say The Elephant in the Room. The
Okay.
Gnome Mobile.
Yeah, I
The
figured that's the one
Gnome-mobile,
you were.
where Walter Brennan plays two characters. He plays a gnome and he plays a kind of a crotchety old but nice grandfather. And it's got the kids from Sound of Music in it, and that's how they're mentioned in the opening credits. And from the Sound of Music, or not Sound of Music,
Mary Poppins.
The
Yeah.
kids from Mary Poppins. Man, they are so trying to redo Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Yes.
And again, cash in on Mary Poppins. And again, just trying way too hard. And there's just a cringe-worthy scene where this gnome character is chased by a bunch of gnome women. They're fighting for him. And they almost tear him apart. So it's like Sadie Hawkins Day for gnomes. It's just insanely bad. It's just so bad. It's almost good. I mean, if you really want to see a train wreck of a Disney movie, yeah,
yes.
the Gnome Mobile.
The Gnome Mobile. Yeah.
So again, you get Walter Brennan doing Walter Brennan, and then you've got the gnome character where he's basically the father on what's the TV show he used to do?
Oh, The Real McCoys.
Damn it, Luke. Yeah, so you get two kind of he ratcheted up for the gnome. Gnome Mobile is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And
we got to mention. I just thought of this. It's not on my list, but you got to mention. I don't know if we have to mention, but I'm going to mention it anyway. Song of the South.
Okay.
The one Disney
I know it didn't
movie
age well.
That got the one movie that got banned.
Yes, it's deep in Disney's vault. They don't want anybody to see it again.
Yes,
unfortunately,
I saw it in the theater because it was Disney, and even I was offended at that early age. I was like, "Oh no, this is." And I've read some of the Uncle Remus stories, the Brer Rabbit and all that, but yeah. I mean, it had a wonderful song, of course, Zippity Doo Dah. Everybody knows that song. And that's it, and I'm like,
yeah, unfortunately it's stereotypes, and
so badly.
Again, the at the time you had Tex Avery doing the same kind of thing, and it was acceptable. And it's a shame because the animation is really good.
I mean, it's Disney.
And the Brer Rabbit, Brer Bear, Brer Fox, those characters. I remember them fondly as a kid, but now it's just like, okay, maybe I shouldn't like this.
Yeah, and
it wasn't meaning to paint people or things in a negative manner, but unfortunately, it's just cringeworthy.
It was just it's.
If you can find a copy of it to watch it and just be open-minded and
it's like it's a product of its time. It's definitely a product of its time.
Yeah, now it just kind of makes
I think they were trying to be positive about it.
I mean, with Tex Avery,
presenting...
it was actually kind of negative. I mean, they would blow up a character, and then he would have the little
the little curl, the little
the little bows and the stuff in the hair,
the big lips,
that kind of thing. I mean, it was really, really done in bad taste. Okay, you should probably mention that for our stinkers list. $1 Million Duck.
That was my other one.
It's Dean Jones doing the goose that laid the golden egg, but unfortunately, Sandy Duncan is there instead of
Suzanne Pleshette.
Suzanne Pleshette. It
She
might
was
have
off
worked with
doing.
Suzanne
She was off
Pleshette.
doing the Bob Newhart show, probably. Oh,
So yeah, I had
Sandy
to put that on the list. It was a stinker. It was so formulaic, and again, it's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, call D Jones, he'll do it. Oh, we don't have Suzanne Pleshette. Who's big right now? Oh, Sandy Duncan. Yeah, get her over here. What do you mean she looks like Columbo?
yeah. Well, she, when she was doing her show, she got an eye infection and then
Oh man,
lost her eye. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, not a good one. And even though Tommy Steele is leading the Happiest Millionaire, and he's walking a crocodile around for no reason at all. It's a musical, and it's very musical, and it's too musical for Disney. I can see kids just wanting to kill themselves being in the theater on that. Like, why am I here? Watch the movie, Eddie. It's Disney. Watch the movie. Why am I here? The old man can't sing.
What is this a punishment?
Watch the girl kiss the pretty boy, honey. I don't want to watch kids sing.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. They can't all be winners, folks.
I can't believe we're only at 1 hour and 1 minute. I thought this was going to take a lot longer to go through.
Apparently not.
That's all the things on my list that I could think of.
Yeah, that was it for me. Yeah. So
Guys, I thought we had more stuff though. Wait, hold on. What about Shaggy Dog?
Okay, I watched the Shaggy Dog yesterday.
Yeah.
It's actually not bad. Tommy Kirk and Tim Considine both that did movies during the Mickey Mouse Club are in it.
Yeah. And of course,
Fred McMurray is the father, and he hates dogs, and he's allergic to dogs, and he's a mailman of all things, which I think is great. Tim Considine is such a douchebag of a friend in that film. Oh my God. And he doesn't get any real upcomings at the end of the film, other than, he doesn't get the girl. But Tommy Kirk doesn't get a girl either. So yeah.
And then what about Condor? Yeah. You guys gave me more stuff.
Oh my God, I'm so
there's
sorry.
more
I forgot to put
here.
Condor Man on the list.
Condor Man. Yeah, that was on my list. Yeah,
Condor Man. This is a stinker, folks. Let me tell you why. Somebody at Disney and the higher ups thought it would be great to have Michael Crawford, the singer, play the lead character in that film. And he's got this really high voice and this marked hair, and he's supposed to be the hero. And it's somewhere between James Bond and Inspector Clouseau. He's like real clumsy and nutty. And you have Oliver Reed, who's you could just tell he's barely sober throughout the film. Bring a Russian, a really bad Russian.
I'm just doing this for the money.
And the only thing that the film's got going for it, there's two things actually. James Hampton plays his friend, who actually gets him enrolled with the Secret Service. And he's a comic book writer, is what it is, and he writes this Condor Man stories, and he's trying to create an actual Condor Man, wings set, that he can fly with, and he gets the government to fund all of his crazy ideas to save this beautiful Russian spy who's defecting. And she's played by Barbara Carrera, who plays one of the most evil Bond biatches in the film history later.
Yeah.
But in this one, she's nice and sweet and demure and lovable. And he's going to save her. So it's worth a watch. I mean, to be honest, because of the cars and the boats and the lasers and stuff. But Michael Crawford is so miscast as the lead in this. Multi-purpose.
I had actually I had some of the later that we cut it off at 89, but I had some of the other movies like The Lone Ranger and Inspector Gadget, The Haunted Mansion, the first version with
I forgot
yeah,
that Disney released Inspector Gadget. Oh man, that was terrible.
that one, and there was a sequel with French Stewart,
Right.
because obviously
Right.
he
Matthew Broderick.
Matthew Broderick was like, hey, yeah, no, I'm not
going to do that again.
I'm not doing that again.
I'm still getting ribbing from my friends for doing that.
I learned my lesson. And a movie and The Prince of Persia, which is probably one of the worst video game to movie adaptations ever made, and almost
This is the one that
Jake Gyllenhaal.
I want to say that this is the one that actually cost Disney like the most money as a failure, wasn't it? Or no, I'm thinking of something else, I think.
No, you're thinking of John Carter.
John Carter.
Yeah, I was going to add that to my list as well.
But yeah, we said we were going to cut off at what, 1989?
89, yeah.
Because that was when the Renaissance happened. Little Mermaid came out and started a whole new slew of Disney movies, and
right.
animated and live action.
Yeah,
we're going to do that on a later show.
Oh, the animated one, yeah.
Well, no. I mean, even live action after the 80s. There's a lot of Marvel films. There's a lot of Star Wars films. I mean, Disney has usurped a lot since that time because of all the money that they made.
Yeah.
From Little Mermaid, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. From their Renaissance.
Yeah. I just once they started, basically said, when somebody, I guess probably I don't know if it was Bob Iger or whoever was heading the company at the time, said, you know what would be a good idea? Let's just remake all our animated movies,
all of our animated films as live action movies. Yes.
Hey, because apparently we just ran out of original ideas. Now the Pixar division are doing fantastic movies.
Yeah.
They're doing some really great movies.
We'll have to do a show on Pixar.
Oh yeah, we'll have to do it. Absolutely. All those movies. But yeah, there's some few good ones. There are a few good ones amongst the post 89 period.
Yeah.
And I think I already know what your number one's going to be when we do that show.
My number one stinker, you mean?
No. Your number one.
Okay.
Your top five. Because it's going to be definitely going to be on my top five. So, and we won't. I'm not going to mention what it is. We'll save that for that show. But anyway,
right.
Yeah. So.
Right. Okay. Well, there it is. A lot of good movies over the years. Classic live action Disney movies. We didn't do Charlie the Lonesome Cougar.
or yeah.
But by gosh, there's a lot of them.
Probably one of the best of Disney's animal movies for me is The Incredible Journey. Love that movie.
Yeah. I was thinking I should add that to my list too, to mention.
Yeah.
With the voice of Don Amici and Michael J. Fox, right, as the animals trying to get back home.
Okay. Jonathan Duncan wants us to restate our top five.
Restate the top five. Mine was 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, The Love Bug, Darby O'Gill and the Little People, Mary Poppins, and the Dexter Riley trilogy. So it makes it 8. My top 8.
All right, mine was Mary
Kurt
Poppins.
Russell, damn it.
Kurt Russell, yeah. Mine is Mary Poppins, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Something Wicked, This Way Comes, and Tron. So there you go, Jonathan. And we didn't hear Renee's top five.
I'll tell you what it's not. It's not Old Yeller because let me ask you guys. Let me ask you what. No, but
Who
seriously,
doesn't love Old Yeller? Come
here's
on.
the thing. Here's the thing. What else happened in that movie? Nobody remembers any. Like, what was the movie about except for that? Like, it's about that. I feel like the whole movie is an excuse to just do
It's
that.
about rabies.
What the? But like,
about a-
really, what happened? Like, I can't remember anything that happened.
Boy
When
and
he
his
finds
dog.
Old Yeller's a puppy, right? And
Yeah.
Is there a
a wonderful
puppy?
time going through the woods with Old Yeller, and Old
But
Yeller
it's all a
saving him.
build up to. It's all a build up to like
Yeah.
yank it out from under
Family,
you.
you know, the dad hates the dog at first, and you know, later on, you know, he's like, yeah, you're comes to
Love
love
Bug has to be
it.
my number one.
I haven't
Love
seen
Bug.
Love Bug. I want to see it now.
The
I
first,
gotta see. Love Bug.
don't waste your time watching any of the other Love Bugs, but the first
Oh
one
yeah,
is
Herbie
great.
Goes to Monte Carlo and all the other. Yeah, those are awful.
Especially
Those are
the
stickers.
especially the latest ones.
Or yeah, any of the remakes. Yeah. Oh, there you are. There you are. See, I think you know, Renee. I think you should have a top 5 list in our.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, if I'm passionate about something, I will, like, you know, so I want to remind everybody, like, this particular show, because Disney is so vast, the guys chose to, there's like a year that they went before, and it's more classic. Classic. It's not the newer ones, and it's all live action. And then they took out, of course, like the Star Wars, and there's all this other. So they're going to do different shows on all of that.
Right.
These particular ones, like, I've seen a lot of them, but I'm not like passionate about them. I'm not passionate about them. You know what I mean? Like,
I got 2 more.
Okay, he does. Yeah, you sent me more than
Escape from Witch Mountain and Return to Witch Mountain.
Oh,
why? That's all I'm gonna say. Why?
Those I do have opinions on. No, it's just no. Why? Yeah, that's the question.
Rainbow is in the first one. Christopher
No.
Lee and Betty Davis is in the second one.
Yeah.
I do have to
Little
say
rich
that
kids.
what
Uncle
Manny was
Jesse.
responding to is that Rory was doing all the voices for Roger Rabbit. Again, he could do like a radio drama of Roger Rabbit, and it would be, you couldn't tell the difference. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
No.
Great story about that. The only reason that the Looney Tunes agreed to let them do them in the films is if they get equal time as the Disney characters. So in the scene where Daffy Duck is going up against Donald Duck, they have an equal number of lines. And it's the same. You see Bugs Bunny and
Mickey
Mouse together.
Yeah, when they're falling.
They both have the same number of lines as they're falling down. With the. So I just thought that was fascinating.
Yeah. So yeah.
But yeah, Return to Witch Mountain, Escape from Witch Mountain.
Not to mention the when they brought it back with Race to Witch Mountain with The Rock, which has become a meme when he's looking back at the kids.
Yeah, that one.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this show. This show is now going to be on holiday break, correct?
Yes.
And then
when
does it come back?
Season finale.
Season 1. This was the first season. Right?
1.5.
1.5, right? Yeah. It's like 1.5. Yeah.
We will be back. We'll be back in January. Probably, I don't know, maybe the second week of January. Give us time to recover from New Year's.
From New Year's.
Yes.
Yeah, really haven't set a date, but we'll be early
I have
January.
no idea what we're going to talk about.
Look for us.
They already know. Give some teasers for like what kind of stuff are you going to explore?
Well, I know we're going to talk about which we were going to do this season, but we'll bring him back, and Clint Eastwood. We're going to do him. We're going to do him.
It didn't
talk
really
about
do him.
because he's had a lot of classic movies. I also want to do him as a director because he's directed a lot of good movies as well. But we'll talk about him as an actor. I know somebody's been asking for Robert De Niro for the longest time. We got to do De Niro, and
Movies where he wasn't a gangster.
movies. Yeah, for 100, Alex.
I can't find any.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What you know?
Yeah. And
You
Steven Spielberg. We got to talk about Spielberg at some point. It's done a lot of.
thought we did
You know.
Spielberg.
Did we do Spielberg? And well, some surprises. We'll have.
That would be a good one to start the year with, Spielberg.
Yeah. Okay.
You want to do that?
And then of course we'll do another Disney the post 89 the Renaissance
Movies without Walter Brennan.
movies without Walter Brennan. Yeah.
And Dean Jones.
Or Dean Jones. or Sean Connery. Or Kurt Russell. So yeah.
Soldier was Disney, right? No,
I don't think so.
A Thing? No, that was John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Nope, it's Disney.
We'll do. We're talking about doing movies, submarine movies.
Submarine. Oh my god.
Submarine movies. Yeah, there's a lot of those. That take
Das
place.
Boot.
That's one. We've already talked about 20,000 Leagues.
Yeah.
Enemy Below.
Run silent, run deep.
Yeah. Hunter Red
Batman the
October. Okay, so yeah, we'll save that for the show.
That's right. Yeah, we'll save that for the show.
Save that for the show. Yeah.
Submarine movies. Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll start with Spielberg. I think that's a good idea. And then go from there.
That's right. John Duncan said, I'm going to have to rewatch the shows through the holidays because I'll have no idea what to do with myself at this time of the day each week. Otherwise, thank you for a great year, Rory, Manny, and Ray. Yeah, don't worry. There's going to be shows. We're going to figure there'll be little things. has stuff planned. We have stuff planned. There's little things.
Yeah, we'll be popping up.
We'll be Mary Poppinsing up.
You can't get rid of us that easy.
You can't get rid of us that easy, JD. We're trust me. We'll be doing stuff. Yeah.
We didn't mention that Ed Wood was in a lot of Disney movies,
Oh yeah. Well, he was in Mary Poppins. He had a scene. He had that one scene in Mary Poppins. Yeah, he was up in the. It was all happy, floating up on the roof.
I can't get down from here.
It's kind of like Julia Childs in a way. Julia
Childs.
It's a very similar vibe.
I don't sound anything like Julia Childs,
Just a little bit. A little bit.
Not even a little bit. Just remember to save the liver for consomme later.
You know what we should do, like in season 2, and it can be a one-off. Like it shouldn't be, but just for me, like I should commandeer one of them, and we do. I know it's not movies, so like that's what I'm saying. It's not really gonna be like, but we should do sitcoms. Because, like, I love sitcoms so much. Just do a show where we just talk about which is our favorite sitcoms. We talk which favorite episodes, whatever. Like Golden Girls, Seinfeld.
Talking about TV.
Sitcoms. Or TV. Or we do, like, a TV. Like, every now and then we can do, like, a TV. You're right. Like,
tonight we're going to talk about Gilligan's Island.
Do it.
Taxi. Like, I want to do Taxi. Yeah, like do a spin-off where you talk about TV, like great moments in TV or something. I mean, sitcoms are amazing. They're so amazing.
Yeah,
they change culture so much because they're episodic and you get like attached to the characters over a long period of time. We'll think about it. I'll lobby for it, guys. We'll see if they allow me. It'll be like Mad Max. I'll just take over, or like They Live. I'll just suddenly.
They live.
Welcome back, Cotter. See, already there's engagement about it. Thank you, JD.
Happy
Welcome
days.
back, Cotter. Happy days, good times,
Married with
children.
children. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Married with children,
and
pig.
marriage, love
Soap.
and marriage.
Soap. It's one of my
Mhm.
favorites.
Soap.
I love when like Good Times would have like the serious ones where they would address like real
A very
issues.
special.
A
Tonight,
very
a
special
special episode. See, that there you go. We're gonna
Yes, and
tonight,
and
on a
like the
very
live
special
studio,
episode.
right? Tonight, a very special
guys.
episode of two guys, and sometimes, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And you could do the narration of it, like the Leah, and we could have a live studio audience. No.
Live, yeah.
Tonight's episode is taped in front of a live studio audience. And you hear people,
Which is
That'd be
preferable
great
to a
fun.
dead audience. Which is,
yeah.
Tonight we're taped in front of a live laugh track.
Yeah. Where's Carol O'Connor when you need him? We need Carol O'Connor here.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Three's
Why?
Company. Come on.
Don't
Three's
stifle
Company.
yourself, Edith.
Which is
What are you
good.
talking about burning the cross on the lawn, huh?
What? Yeah.
A very special Audrey Bunker.
What a
Oh,
very
very
special-
special. They did. They had the menopause version where like Edith was getting angry all the time, and then they found out.
I ain't gonna talk to you no
Right.
more.
Ma, I've been doing some reading, and it's your hormones. You know, it's our whole. You know, it's like all about that, and it's supposed to like destigmatize it. I love when they would do those very special episodes.
Tonight on a special blossom.
Right? Yeah. Well, they were all special, man. Talk about Blossom. They were all
or attempted rape.
It was like, yeah, they go really deep, and then they go back like to something normal afterwards. It's like child abuse, and then boom.
Oh
like
yeah. Oh, what was that? Oh, not good. What was with Arnold with Arnold? You know, what are you talking about?
What you talking
That
about,
one.
Willis?
Willis, yeah. What was
Mhm.
that? What was that? Yeah.
The Facts of Life. No.
No.
That would be great fun, JD. See,
Back to back.
Different
see,
strokes.
this is already an episode. I'm
Different
telling you,
strokes.
it's
Different
gold.
strokes. Yeah, they had a very special episode with child abuse and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, they did that on
Yes.
Good Times too, and it was like so crazy. Then they had one about like food scarcity and like where the woman was eating dog food on Good Times, and then she came over and brought them beef, and they were all like not wanting to eat it. They didn't want to eat it because they thought it was dog food, and then she was like, it was like this big moment, and she's like, I would never serve that to you, and yes, I've had to do that on occasion, but I would never do that to you. And then everyone was like, oh my gosh, like some people have to eat dog food. It was like, you know, and then you talk about it with your friends, and
Yeah.
you know, it's amazing. Like,
How do we go there?
It's intense. It's intense. Sitcoms are unlike what Andy Warhol said, they are not the lowest form of entertainment. They are really they spark discussion.
And then you have
Maybe
MASH.
once every
MASH
4 or
is a
5
big one.
shows, we can do a TV thing.
Yeah, like because I think that would be really fun. Like Jack Tripper, they had an episode where like he got engaged, and then his fiance wanted him to work at her father's box factory to get like a reputable job and give up trying to be a chef because that's just stupid shit. And then he was like going along with it, and then Janet's there being like, but this isn't you, Jack. And he's like, well, it's time for me to grow up. I'm gonna manage a box factory. And everyone was like, no, Jack, don't do it. And then you learn like about identity and how you got to stand up for yourself. And I'm serious. They're really great. Sitcoms are amazing. All right. Everyone knows how
sitcoms are amazing.
We've been waiting for you. And like little trivia. We can do our own pop-up trivia.
We could do an episode on our favorite sitcom theme songs.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much.
Incorporated.
There's so much that I mean, what about Honeymooners? What about Honeymooners?
Oh,
what about
wow.
I mean, come on, they're
going
so
old
great.
School.
Yes.
OG on us here.
Yes. Lucy.
To the moon.
What about the Three Stooges? That's not even a sitcom. I don't know what the Three Stooges is.
Ralphie boy.
Hey, working down here in the sewer.
Does The Simpsons count? No, I don't think The Simpsons counts. No.
I can't take
the cartoon chick on.
Yeah, I can't think of the honeymooners anymore without thinking of Eddie Murphy doing his bit about the honeymooners.
Yeah. Mhm.
Hey, Ralphie.
No,
I know you've been looking at me, looking at you, looking at me.
I know. Norton.
I know you wanna.
Humana. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's good television.
Good, clean
Good,
fun.
good, clean fun, and affected a lot of cultural change.
Oh, Ralph, you're the greatest.
What people saw on their sitcoms taught them like what culture was evolving towards. I mean, you know.
Ozzie and Harriet.
Yeah. They
Nelson.
talked about through humor they could address subjects that no one wanted to address with drama, you know.
No, you were pretty hard on the beaver last night.
That's a lovely pearl necklace you have on there, Mrs. Cleaver. Thank you, Eddie.
Then the second they're out of the room, it's like he's such an asshole. I love it.
Yeah.
Lassie. Oh my gosh. Lassie was a bobcat jumping out and killing. And then she's always ringing the old phone. What's that, Lassie?
What's that?
There's
Timmy
a
fell down the
bobcat?
well.
Timmy's down the well?
Again. How many times? He's been there 6 times this week.
Same bark.
We need to get
Remember,
Timmy some
Jeff was
glasses.
the first one. Remember, Jeff was the first one with the brown hair. Then it was like Timmy.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace. There was
remember which comic used to do that bit about Gentleman. Gentleman, where's Timmy? I can't remember who used to do that. Oh my God.
I don't know, but it basically writes itself. And then at the end.
Here's a good TV show. A boy gets to run around with a wild bear.
Well, at least they didn't kill her, like in, you know. But
And he grew up to become Grizzly Adams.
remember at the end? Remember her with the thing up at the end? And it would just go do, 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 do. That's how they end every Lassie. She's standing there like this, and the credits go up
with her little paw. Yeah.
It's like really sad and wistful for some reason, and you want to cry.
He was a trained dog. It's like, where's my treat? Damn it!
Exactly.
And Lassie was a boy.
Minutes now.
Yeah.
Lassie was
a boy who played.
Yeah. This is the first.
But it was played by a girl, though.
Right. Yeah.
First trans animal.
Yeah, it was. It was a very edgy.
First trans character on TV was
Lassie. There you go. See, look, JD already ranked his Family Ties, Bewitched, Cosby Show, Dream of Jeannie, Growing Pains. Goes on like this for days. Yeah. What about Golden Girls?
That was the one thing about Son of Flubber that was wonderful, and that was you had a football game at the end of the movie. Yeah. And the sportscaster was Paul Lynde. I don't think Medfield's gonna win, folks. I don't believe it.
But then it comes like the most popular ones apparently were like everybody loves Raymond and Frasier, I think, are actually the ones that were the most watched.
Mm.
Which, I mean, I've seen them, of course, but I never was like obsessed with them. But
everybody loves Raymond.
The 90s were really sitcom-y. Like that was when Seinfeld, you know, Friends, you had a lot going on. Very sitcom-y.
Very sitcom-y.
Very sitcom-y. Yeah.
I love all this stuff.
Yeah, that was the heyday of the
Cheers. Yeah, JD just said Cheers. How do we forget Cheers?
Yeah.
Norm. Well, I don't know how we forget that. That's where Frasier came from, of course.
That's right. It was a spin-off of that. Yeah.
Jeez, so many spin-offs. I mean,
it was also another spin-off that people forgot about. The Torellis.
Never saw that.
What was her name? Carla. You know, the little Spitfire.
She got
spun off in her own show.
I heard about that, but I never saw it. Someone told me that happened.
I think it lasted like half a season or something.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
And the very ill-timed short Clef Clavin show.
Did that really happen?
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Happened.
No.
I am a postal guy. Yeah. No, it didn't happen.
I wonder if we spent more hours of our lives with sitcoms or movies. Like, I don't know.
Probably sitcoms.
But it probably was sitcoms because they were just on like all the time.
Yeah.
Lately, the other way. But I mean, growing up, you know.
Growing up. Yeah.
So we just basically did the episode, I think. I think it's clear for next.
This was the pilot.
This was the pilot.
that
What do you guys
episode.
think? What do you
For
guys
the,
think? Yeah.
Disney live action and sitcoms.
Oh, Charles in Charge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Charles in
Mork
Charge.
and Mindy, which was a
Oh,
spinoff
Mork and
of Happy
Mindy.
Days as
Yes,
well.
and Happy Days. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yeah.
So
That could
fucking many of them. It's crazy.
entire
Our whole lives are in sitcoms, but people don't think of it that way because it's not considered like great art, you know? It's like these little serials that you deal with like after you get home from school or whatever.
Yeah.
We'll do something, guys. Let's think about it. Let's
Disney
think about
sitcoms.
whether we
Hannah
can.
Montana.
Hannah Montana. She killed it. Miley Cyrus killed Hannah Montana. That's what she said. She killed her.
Yeah.
And she was on the wrecking ball. That's
It was slamming.
She just slammed, you know,
Hannah Montana against the
down
wall.
to
High
Mars. Yeah.
school.
Mr. Ed, come on.
Mr. Ed.
Mr. Ed. Wilbur.
Oh,
What was the
Wilbur.
premise? Why was Wilbur insane, or Mr. Ed was really talking, I think that was the premise, but why did he only talk to Wilbur? There was a reason, and
Because
they explained it in the
Wilbur-
pilot. But
Wilbur was insane.
You know, we feed this horse. It looks like he's talking.
was
Let's
peanut
do a
butter.
TV show.
It was peanut butter.
Yeah. Laverne
The
and
Odd
Shirley.
Couple,
Oh,
Laverne and
oh my
Shirley,
God,
Mary Tyler Moore.
Mary
Yeah.
Tyler Moore show.
Come on.
The Odd Couple.
The Odd Couple. Oh yeah, now you're going to the early 70s.
Yeah.
Bob
My
Newhart
God.
show.
Bob
Newhart.
Newhart, come on. Jeez.
That
Suzanne Pleshette.
is the
Everything.
best ending ever
Yeah,
to a
yeah.
show. The Newhart.
In bed.
Oh,
You
yeah.
woke up and it was
So
a
great.
dream, and you had Suzanne Pleshette. Oh my God.
Suzanne Pleshette was back. Yes.
Yes.
Isn't that beautiful?
Perfect. Freaking
And it ended with the music from the first show too.
Yeah, and
Dun,
just-
dun, 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 dun.
Bosom buddies, guys.
And this was
Bosom buddies.
before you got spoilers and everything. I mean, I did not see that coming, but I was like,
Yeah.
when it
Shocking.
faded out and then it faded back in, and it was the end of the original
Yeah.
Bob Newhart
The
show.
whole world
with
stopped.
Suzanne Pleshette.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, oh my God, it was
Yes.
so
Perfect.
great.
So
Genius.
good. Seinfeld
best-
had the worst, which they still apologize for, not apologize for. They do a lot of episodes on Curb Your Enthusiasm about it. I personally didn't like it really because I thought it was kind of boring, but I liked the premise of that finale,
Yeah.
but I didn't think it was funny. They didn't have
Yeah,
it wasn't executed in a witty way to me. It's just kind of like
very
a
disappointed.
yeah.
I think you know, they should have all died in a horrible bus crash.
That would have been funnier.
That would have been
Mhm.
funny.
That would have been funnier. Larry David still does not apologize. He says it's brilliant and he stands by it, but everyone else
Should have been riding with Toonsis.
Toonsis, the cat
Nobody
who
remember-
could drive a car. I love how no one questions it. No one questions it. And Toonsis, he's a good driver, except for at some point I think he usually crashes.
One
but-
of the very first ones,
He's
Steve Martin questioned it.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Does anyone have a problem with a cat driving the car?
Does anyone have a problem with cat driving?
How does his feet reach the pedals? He was questioning it all the way through. It was great.
I love, yeah, that was great. That was like what everyone was thinking the whole time. Saturday Night Live, we could do a whole thing about Saturday Night Live and different moments.
Yeah.
The worst guest I ever saw on Saturday Night Live was Nancy Kerrigan. She came on and she couldn't, you know, like I know that she's not famous for being a performer or whatever, but like she just was there like this the whole time, kind of sort of reading. It was awful. It was so bad. I never got over it. I was traumatized. Why is Nancy Kerrigan that incapable of reading off a cue card?
And
It's
why?
inexplicable.
See, that's when you need a Ron Galuli to come aboard. Come on. All right, Nancy.
There
We've
are a lot of videos about
we've
the
jumped
worst
the shark.
guests.
Yeah.
In the early days, some of the worst guests were who's Penny Marshall's husband, who's the meathead on Rob Reiner and
Rob
Penny
Reiner.
Marshall.
Why was he
It was a
bad?
dis-
I
it was
never
a
saw that.
disaster show. The
He
show
should
was
have been
still trying to
amazing.
find itself, and they let Rob Reiner pretty much do whatever hell he wanted to do, and without a tether.
Okay.
They were so upset afterwards that they did that they let him do whatever he wanted to do, and it just wasn't funny. And Mary Hartman, what was her name?
Which I still don't know why that. Yeah.
She refused to come out of her dressing room. I mean, they had to keep coaxing her to come out of her dressing room.
Why?
She was terrified of the concept of the show, and she doesn't know why she agreed to do it in the first place. And she was just an absolute nightmare for the cast.
I didn't know. I never heard that. That's crazy.
Milton Berle was another one. They only invited him one time to never have him back. He was just such a terror to work with.
Yeah.
But the worst guest of all time appears to be Steven Seagal.
I didn't see that either. What happened with?
No,
okay, never mind. I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who's the guy with the cigarette and the hey go Fort Fairlane?
Dice Clay.
Dice Clay. He got banned. Apparently he was not particularly good.
They got one of the highest rated shows when he was on there. They got one of the highest rated shows because of all the hype. Because Nora Dunn and some people just said we're not going to do the show this week.
They walked off.
We're not going to do the show.
They walked off. Yeah,
I didn't know
fun
that.
of it on the show. He wasn't that great. And they did get humongous ratings for that show. But they never invited him back.
So. Yeah, he was a little.
All right. Well, look. Here's the thing.
We've got an hour.
We'll
and
think
36
about
minutes.
it.
This is a long show, but that's because we started talking about sitcoms.
Because we'll come back to sitcoms in the new
about
year.
10 minutes after the show ended,
and we'll see it. Okay. All right. I think it's time to wrap it up, guys. We're good. We did a wonderful first season. Congratulations to everybody for the first season, and we'll do something cool for next season. And then Cosmos, of course, still is happening. Howitzer is next week, right, Rory?
Correct.
Rory just flashed us.
Yes, I did.
For ratings.
So this week we're off.
This week we're off.
We're off. There's no. It's casual. There's no big monster briefing room. Next week we'll come back with big monster briefing room. We'll do 2 more, and then we're taking a break on that until next year.
Okay. All right, everybody.
Yeah.
So we're good. We're good.
Maybe some surprises.
You never know.
Yeah.
Okay. Manny, do you want any last words for the first season? That sounds kind of weird. Last words. They're not last words, but.
Just thank you everyone for watching. It's always a pleasure. And we'll see you next year. Literally. We'll be back bigger and stronger.
Because we will have eaten so much turkey, we're going
to be, buffed up and no idea
we're going to be pumping iron.
We're going to be pumping iron
with Arnold.
We will all be Arnold. We want to pump.
It won't be girly men anymore.
We will not be girly men.
No more girly men.
I have no idea. So, anywho. Yes.
His last word. Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right then.
Yeah.
Love to everybody, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Be good to each other.
Yes.
Thanks for watching this episode of Two Guys and Sometimes a Gal Talking About Movies. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to get future episodes.